The Vakrian Empire had conquered 47 star systems in less than a decade. Their crimson warships cut through space like blades through silk, leaving behind nothing but submission or ash. High Commander Zaxthor stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Eternal Dominion, watching the blue marble of Earth rotate peacefully on the view screen. Primitive, he hissed through his mandibles. Their broadcasts are chaotic. No unified government. They still use combustion engines on their planet's surface. His tactical officer, a younger Vakrian named Krell, shifted nervously. Commander, we've intercepted multiple warnings. The humans have designated a perimeter around their system. They call it the Sol Quarantine Zone. They're asking us to stop and identify ourselves. Zaxthor's laugh was a clicking sound that echoed through the bridge. Quarantine? They quarantine us? We who have brought 100 species to heal? He waved a clawed hand dismissively. Ignore their primitive transmissions. Take us through their so-called border. Full speed. What Zaxthor didn't know was that 300 million kilometers away, on a monitoring station hidden in the asteroid belt, 2 humans were watching his fleet approach. Anna Chen pushed her dark hair behind her ear and leaned closer to her console. The screens before her displayed the Vakrian formation in perfect detail. 23 capital ships, 47 destroyers, and countless support craft. It was an invasion force that could glass a continent. They're not stopping, she said quietly, her fingers dancing across the holographic interface. They just crossed the warning line. Leo Martinez stood behind her, his arms crossed over his chest. His jaw was tight and there was no humor in his dark eyes. Did we give them the full protocol? All 3 warnings? All 3, Anna confirmed. In their language, in standard galactic and in mathematical sequences. They acknowledged receipt of the 2nd warning, then ignored the 3rd completely. Leo walked to the large window that overlooked the belt. Somewhere out there, invisible to the naked eye, the Vakrian fleet was pushing deeper into human space. He thought about his daughter back on Earth, about Anna's family on Mars Station, about the billions of humans who had no idea what was about to happen. They have no idea what we are, he said softly. They looked at our radio waves and our cars and thought we were nothing. Anna pulled up another screen. Defensive Grid is asking for confirmation. They need your authorization code. Leo turned back to face her. For a moment, the weight of what they were about to do hung between them. The Vakrian Empire was old, powerful, and vast. But they had made one critical error. They had assumed that humanity's lack of aggression meant a lack of capability. They don't know about the Mumbai Accords, Anna said, as if reading his thoughts. They don't know what we promised ourselves after the colony wars. Leo nodded slowly. After humanity had nearly destroyed itself in the brutal conflicts over the outer colonies, the surviving governments had made a pact. Never again would humans fight humans. Every weapon, every soldier, every strategic innovation would face outward. The entire species had unified around a single doctrine. Earth's borders were absolute, and anything that crossed them uninvited would face the full, undivided fury of a species that had perfected the art of war against itself for 10,000 years. Authorization code Martinez Lima 77 Omega, Leo said clearly. Execute Protocol Sentinel. Anna entered the code. Protocol Sentinel confirmed. Defensive Grid is active. On the view screen, the Vakrian fleet continued its approach, confident and unstoppable. They had no idea that 6,000 autonomous defense platforms had just woken up throughout the Sol system. They didn't know about the quantum-linked targeting systems that tracked every ship simultaneously. They couldn't detect the gravitational mines that were older than their empire, dormant and patient. Commander Zaxthor was reviewing invasion plans when his ship lurched violently. Alarms screamed across every console. Report, he roared. Sir, we're detecting massive energy signatures. Thousands of them. They're... The tactical officer's words were cut off as the Eternal Dominion shuddered again. On the view screen, 3 of their destroyers simply vanished, torn apart by weapons that appeared from nowhere. Evasive maneuvers. Return fire! But there was nothing to fire at. The human defense platforms were spread across millions of kilometers, moving, adapting, coordinating with an efficiency that seemed impossible. The Vakrian ships tried to retreat, but found their exit vectors blocked by gravity wells that hadn't existed moments before. One by one, the crimson warships went dark. Back on the monitoring station, Anna watched the engagement with clinical detachment. The defensive grid was doing exactly what it had been designed to do, and it was doing it perfectly. No human ships were even involved. This was just the automated border defense, the first layer of protection. "It's over," she said after 18 minutes. "All Vakrian vessels disabled or destroyed. No survivors detected." Leo stood beside her, looking out at the stars. Somewhere out there, the Vakrian Empire would be waiting for their fleet to report back. They would wait a long time. "Send the standard message to galactic frequencies," Leo said. "Let everyone know what happened here." Anna composed the message that would echo across 100 worlds. "The Sol system is under human protection. This is not a threat. This is a promise. Cross our borders with hostile intent, and you will discover what a species does when it stops fighting itself and focuses all its energy outward." The Vakrian fleet learned this lesson. They will not be able to share it. "You have been warned." Leo thought about the irony. Humanity had explored less than 1% of the galaxy. They had no interest in conquest or empire. They just wanted to be left alone to grow and learn and build in peace. But if someone refused to leave them alone, they would discover something that 47 conquered species had never taught the Vakrians. The most dangerous thing in the universe wasn't the species that loved war. It was the species that had mastered it and chosen peace instead. Because when that species was forced to fight, they didn't do it with passion or rage. They did it with the cold, perfect efficiency of people who knew exactly how terrible they could be and had decided to be better until someone gave them no choice. Anna saved the logs and shut down her console. "Shift's over. The night crew can monitor for any secondary incursions." "Think anyone else will test the borders?" Leo asked. Anna smiled grimly. "Not for a long time." She was right. The message spread quickly through galactic channels, and with it a new understanding. Humanity's borders weren't defended by ships or soldiers. They were defended by a promise, and behind that promise was a species that had unified around a single principle: leave us alone and we'll leave you alone. Cross the line and discover why we stopped fighting each other. The Vakrian Empire's fleet was never seen again, and Earth's borders remained uncrossed.